You cannot remove any of the previously added data to the blockchain. This is what it is. Right? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Is there any problem with my voice? Okay, let's go on. Let's go on to the next question, okay? All right. And we said that the blockchain is cryptographically secure. What does it mean? To say that the distributed ledger is cryptographically secure. Can you explain it? Any volunteer to answer this question? Yes, this ledger database is an append-only database and cannot be changed or altered. Yes, that's a repetition of another answer. Now, the new question is, why do we say that the blockchain is cryptographically secure? Okay, we got a question here. Can we serve as a huge ledger that contains everything that was done through the... Yes. Basically transactions added to the blockchain record everything important in the system. Every important event in the system is recorded into the transaction. Everyone will have a copy of the ledger, and so no one can change it. No one can modify it. Okay. Different cryptographic algorithms have been used to secure the ledger. So no one can tamper with the database, no one can misuse it, no one can change it illegally. And different security services are offered here, such as data integrity, data origin authentication, and so on and so forth. Okay. Mr. Yes. Encryption, yes. Yes, you are true, Mr. Zaid Khazr, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Yeah, the blockchain is well designed. You're true, Mr. Ali Ahmad. Okay. Next question. Let's move on to the next question. We said that the blockchain is updatable only via consensus. What does it mean? That was maybe the most important property of a blockchain, that to be updatable only via consensus between nodes. Yes. Okay. Who wants to answer this question? Okay. It can be updated via, yes. When the majority of the nodes in the network agree on some update, it can be added to the blockchain. That's the meaning of consensus. It's the majority agreement in the network. It's the rule of majority. We can call it the rule of majority. This is what gives it the power of decentralization. Yes, that's also true. Thank you, Mr. Mustafa Muhammad. Okay. And yes. Okay. That was my last question in this session. Let's move on to the next slide. Blockchain is a data structure. Blockchain is a data structure to implement a decentralized ledger, and is a chain of blocks connected to each other. Each block is linked back to the previous block by using a hash pointer. The hash function is applied to the previous block, and this hash is recorded in a present block and creates a link between the two blocks. And that's why we say it's a chain of blocks. So how is a chain created here? By using hash pointers. In each block we have a hash pointer referring to the next block. So if you delete any block from here, one can notice it easily by tracking all the hash pointers. Hash pointers create linkage between the blocks in the blockchain. And another thing here is hash is like a fingerprint. Yeah, sort of we can say that is kind of a fingerprint. Yes, because each block has a unique hash. That's a basic concept. And another thing is that every node in the network will hold a full copy of the blockchain. The full copy of the database is held by every node in the network. So this adds to the high availability of the blockchain. If you can still have access to the data through the present nodes. That's why we say that blockchain is highly available. It's a property of high availability in the blockchain because every node in the network has a complete copy of the blockchain. A newcomer joins the network, a new node joins the network, it will request and download the blockchain from the other nodes in the network. Okay. All right. Let's move to the next slide. And blockchain belongs to a family of technologies called distributed ledger technology, or DLT. But remember that it is not true that every DLT is decentralized. But a blockchain is a distributed ledger which is decentralized. And as you know, DLT is the process of copying and replicating and sharing and updating, synchronizing digital transactions among many node sites in many different organizations and countries and so on. So a blockchain is a type of DLT. Please take note of that. And in this figure you can see a typical data structure present in a blockchain. We have different blocks. As I said, they are linked together through hash pointers. Block 1 to block 1265. The first block is always called the Genesis block. It does not link back to any other block because there is no previous block to the Genesis block. The very first block is the Genesis block. You see here, all blocks in the blockchain except for the Genesis block link back to their previous blocks through hash pointers, right? And what does a block contain? That's the question. Every block in a blockchain is a set of transactions. So in every block you have a set of a collection of transactions, and there are two parts in every block, two major parts. The first part is called the header, which links back to the previous block through the hash pointer in the chain, as I said. Okay, we have got a question here. When one block missing or error or in a blockchain or the yes, when a block is missing, you can notice it because there is no linkage between the next block and the previous block. Because if you eliminate one block in the blockchain, the linkage is torn, is broken. And there is no linkage between blocks anymore, and you can notice it. So that's why we have this chain of blocks. And the next part in every block is the body of the block, which contains a list of transactions that are validated, that are verified by nodes, their amounts, the addresses of the parties involved, for example, the recipient and the sender of, for example, money or fund, and some other details. So if you have the latest block in the blockchain, you can track it, the previous blocks, to access all the previous blocks in the blockchain. Okay. Did you get your answer, Mr. Ehsan Sadiq? Did you get your answer? Was it clear? And the block have all information or only addresses? It contains addresses as well as all other information needed to define transactions, of course. For example, you want to specify the amount that is being transferred to the recipient of the value. Mr. Nabil Mahabash, is that a question or a comment? I don't know. Is that a question? Please let me know. Okay. So before giving a simple practical example, I will announce a few minutes, 4 to 5 minutes break, and I will come back. Okay. We'll have a 5-minute break. Please rest and get back in 5 minutes. Okay.